The Bible is not holy, but you are divine. Now, for some of you, that might be one hell of a statement. You might be listening to that like, what did she say? I'll repeat it. The Bible is not holy, but you are divine. I am a certified Christian minister who has certainly gone through my own journey of spirituality. And for most of my life, I was in the church. I left my parents' home church for my own journey of Christianity and different branches of Christianity. Amazing how we have so many, right? Surely we've all questioned that at some point. But instead of questioning the whole, what we do is based on where we are, whatever area we land, then we find ourselves defending it. Well, what I am hoping to do in this video, my intention, is to show how it is that we came to the point of looking at the Bible as a holy book for the church to follow, when there's so much history behind it that most people don't even understand. So if that sounds interesting to you, stick around. I got you. For those of you that this just kind of scares the hell out of, if that might be good, actually. All right, I'll be right back. Hi, I'm glad you're here. My name is Zara Green. And what I do over here is all things personal development, and that includes emotional growth. I believe that what is included in emotional growth and emotional intelligence is also spirituality. And so we're going to hit some of that today. Okay, so here it is. The church hijacked all of the scripts, all the books of the Bible from ancient texts. Okay? They hand-selected, decided upon all of the ancient texts, all of the different books, and decided which ones they were going to put into the Bible. So anybody who studied any amount of time, or been in the church any amount of time, or have ears to hear anything other than what comes from the church, then you've heard that there are certain books that weren't there. Well, it turns out there's a whole lot of texts that was not included because they hand-selected what they put in it. Well, you've got to ask yourself, why did they hand select? What did they leave out? Or you don't. Some of you will just, not have ears to hear, eyes to see, whatever. You will just opt not to. And I am not trying to convince and convert you. I'm really not. I do indeed understand that we are where we are. So this is also not to bash anybody for where they are. Let me be clear about that, because I was there. It's a lot of why when I'm having these kinds of conversations, I'm like, I am not just, out here talking blindly. I was in the same space for a very long time, and it took everything within me when I did decide to start to expand and start to learn something different. And for me, it meant cutting everything out from the church and everybody I knew in order to go and learn something else. Because the talk about a stronghold, baby, that hold was strong. So I am not trying to convince and convert you to change from anything that is working for you or whatever beliefs you have. We are all in different places. We all have to go on our own individual journey. I believe everything that is spiritual is very, very personal. So this is me sharing what I have come to understand. This is not me trying to tell you you are wrong for who you are, where you are, and what you're doing. Okay? All right. That was a caveat. Had to get that out. But here's what I know to be true. The church hijacked some scripts. And from where I sat, I had to ask myself, why? What is this? What is this about? But for a long time, y'all, I couldn't even look at anything about the Bible, anything that was close to the Bible, any kind of spirituality that even used the Bible as occasional references. I was so in a space of disappointment and in some places, sometimes even rage. I was just done with my experiences in the church. And what I've come to understand is that it is not, as we've been taught, some God-inspired text specifically to be holy for all of us to follow. But that does not mean that it does not have some relevant context, that there isn't some goodness that's in there. It is just not holy. Okay? So if you understand that, and then you understand that there's a whole lot more even beyond the Bible, and if you're able to open yourself up to even pay attention to some of the other stuff, to start to investigate some of the other stuff, and then understand how all of the other stuff came together and how you can actually use it, then you can tap into your own divinity. Because while the Bible is not holy, you are indeed divine. And what that means is the deity, the divinity that is God, that is the creator, is also you. But if you don't understand that the way the Bible is taught in the church, and it is to keep you subjugated by some laws that they just decided were some laws that were not created for you to follow in those ways, but to understand in different ways, you'll never tap into your divinity. And if you never tap into your divinity, then it means that we continue fighting and operating from ego and not being able to absolutely operate from that love consciousness that is God. And when you understand that love consciousness that is God, that is also you, okay? Then you stop operating from this humble space of humility and the wretched who doesn't deserve, and all of that stuff that we're taught in the church. All of that stuff is to keep you from operating in your God consciousness, from taking your place as the divine. You are divine. You do have divinity. You are divine. Divinity is you. But you'll never know that if you are operating from a space of what you don't deserve. And if God don't give you nothing else, then you just grateful and just no. Because here's the deal. Whatever you believe about yourself, whatever you think about yourself is true. And so the way that we operate is that what we see in our world, see, and this is the part that you are not going to get from church. What you see in your world has been painted by what you believe about yourself. Because the divine part of you is that what God is electric and magnetic. You were created in that image. Through imagination, you are able to create your own world. You ain't gonna get that in church, y'all. You ain't gonna get that in no Christian church. If they can keep you small and keep you believing that you got to keep coming to a church and listening to some joker standing in a pulpit who's supposed to be your spiritual father, then you will never understand that you are divine. Everybody's on a quest for happiness, and I'm telling you, happiness comes when you recognize your own divinity. We get better at things that we practice. And if you are continuing to practice your lowliness, what you don't deserve, how, you're a wretched being, you continue to sing those, especially old Negro spirituals that keep you low, that keep you just waiting until you die and go to a better place where where mansions have been set up for you in the by and by. When I'm telling you all that stuff is for now, but you're not going to understand that if you stay in the space that you are. All this is for is to drop a little something. This is not to give you too much to overwhelm or overload. It's just to give you enough to tweak your perspective a little bit, if that's the space you're in. For those who are not in that space, you've probably already clicked off, or you are listening so that you can come in the comments and prove just how righteous, you see, because that righteousness blocks your divinity. When you think there's a right and a wrong, and there is, you think you got to defend a God. See, I wouldn't serve a God I have to defend. God is too big for me to have to defend. You understand? But if that's what you feel like you have to do, go ahead on. Enjoy yourself in the comment section. I will not be joining you. uh, because this is for people who are looking to expand beyond that which they knew. And they're still seeking happiness, but they still have the fumes of that conditioning that says that we are lowly for whatever reason. And there is some other conditioning throughout the world that has conditioned you to believe that you deserve less than, and that you are this lowly something and not you are divine. I'd like to see you tap into your divinity by daring to start to expand your own spirituality. And so these are the kinds of things that I will be bringing you, and I'll be bringing them in nuggets. I'm not going to come and overwhelm you. I will be bringing them in nuggets because the conditioning is deep and I know it. I know it. I've been through it. And I have deconditioned myself. I have been reprogrammed. I understand my divinity now. And that is the only thing I'm interested in expanding. All right. That's all I've got for you today. It's your life. Choose it just as it is. Own it, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Change it. As long as you can breathe and learn, it can get better.